one-year MBA programs in India are the residential one-year full-time programs, which are offered by a number of institutions today. The programs that you can choose from will be on the basis of the eligibility criteria and the career aspirations that you have. This also depends on where you're coming from, what is your background and what is the kind of industry and the function that you're coming from. So when you're choosing your one-year MBA in India program, you should first of all consider the eligibility criteria, and the number of schools that will be open for you to apply to will depend totally on this particular criteria. Let's break up the candidate profile into three parts, but you've not yet touched the 3-year mark. So for the work experience range or the eligibility for these one-year MBA programs, it is always safe to assume that you should check your work experience till 31st March of the year that you are going to start the program. However, it is very important to understand that all of these programs will have a different criteria for the calculation of the work experience. So the eligible work experience will be different for each of these programs to quite an extent. For those professionals who have completed 2 years of work experience but not completed 3 years of work experience, the option for the one-year MBA in India for you is limited to ISB PGP. So ISB PGP is the program that you can apply to. Let's say you have 3 years of work experience but less than 4 years of work experience. And this is till, we are assuming till 31st March of the year that you start the program. Then you have a certain more number of programs that you can apply to, which will be the ISB PGP and the IIM Kozhikode PGP BL program. So it is also important to note here that the 3 years work experience criteria for IIM Kozhikode up till the previous application cycle was till the date of the deadline. So IIM Kozhikode doesn't take your work experience till 31st of March. They will see that you should have 3 years of work experience till whatever deadline of the cycle you are applying to. Make sure that you are checking this criteria according to your work experience and then putting up your applications. Let's say you are someone with 4 years of work experience, but not 5 yet. So if you're someone with 4 years of work experience, then you can apply to ISB PGP. You will have the option to apply, of course, to IIM Kozhikode PGP BL, and you will also be able to apply the IIM Ahmedabad PGP PX program. So these are 3 one-year MBA programs that you can apply to if you are someone with 4 years of experience but not yet completed 5 years. At the range of a minimum of 5 years of work experience, there is a whole lot of one-year MBA in India programs which will be available to you. So for individuals who have a minimum of 3 years of work experience or more, there is one more program that you can apply to. That is not a one-year program entirely. It is an 18-month program, which is the SPJMR's PGPM program. So this PGPM program is an 18-month long program, but it does accept the GMAT and the CAT scores. So this is also close to the 1-year bracket for people with a minimum of 3 years of work experience. So this is the range of programs that you can apply to if you have not completed 5 years of work experience. Now coming to the applicants who have completed 5 years of work experience, what are the options that you have? So you have the option of choosing from the ISB PGP program. You can also apply to the IIM Ahmedabad PGPX program. You can apply to the IIM Bangalore ePGP program, IIM Calcutta MBAX program. You can apply to IIM Kozhikode's PGP BL program, IIM Lucknow's IPMX program. You can apply to IIM Indore's ePGP program. These are all full-time 1-year programs that you can apply to. Apart from these, IIM Shillong also offers a 1-year full-time program, which is also open to applicants with more than 5 years of work experience. At this point in time, I'll go back to the discussion of those individuals who have 3 years of work experience, a minimum of 3 years of work experience, and want to apply to a 1-year full-time program. There are 2 programs which are offered by the IIM Udaipur. One is the Global Supply Chain Management Program and one is the Digital Enterprise Management Program. These programs have a very specific audience that they cater to, so that they don't really qualify in the general MBA program. But if you are someone who's looking at an operations, a career in operations and supply chain management, then the GSCM program does appropriately fit into your list. Or if you are somebody with a tech background or an IT background and want to go ahead in the enterprise, the digital enterprise management field, then the DEM program also is one program that you should look into. Now, apart from all of these programs, there are some more programs that you can look at, which are entirely not 1 year. They are slightly more than 1 year in duration. which are offered by the following institutions. So there is a 15 months program which is offered by XLRI, which is for experienced professionals with a minimum of 5 years of work experience. The next program, as I told you, was the SPJMR PGPM program, which is for the professionals with a minimum of 3 years of work experience. Another program is offered by Masters Union, which you can apply to, but there is a preferable work experience of around 2 to 4 years in this particular program. It is not 1 year entirely, it is 16 months in duration. Great Lakes also has a program which is the PGPM program, which is for professionals with prior work experience. Apart from these, MDI Gurgaon has an 18 month full-time program, which is again for experienced professionals with a minimum of 3 years of work experience. Another program is offered by IMT Ghaziabad, which is for professionals with a minimum of 5 years of experience. But this program is not a 1 year MBA, it is an 18 months program. So these are also the programs that you can look into. There is one more program which is offered for working professionals where they can apply to with the GMAT or the GRE score by BITSOM, BIT School of Management, but it is 2 years in duration. So this is the whole range of programs. If you are a working professional, if you are a professional with the prior work experience, according to your work experience range, you can choose a 1 year MBA in India to apply to. Does the 1 year MBA have value? Yes, the 1 year MBA definitely has value. It is a very well accepted program now. And a lot of professionals are coming out from different colleges who are going into the industry now. After a certain years of work experience, it probably doesn't make sense for you to spend 2 years in a program and learning the basics. Whereas you would have probably, gone through these basics or had some kind of touch points in your work experience on the basics that the 2 year MBA program provides. Again, if we look at the class profile of a 2 year versus a 1 year MBA program, the 1 year MBA program starts at 3 or 4 or 5 years of work experience. So when you're coming in with this work experience, you don't equate yourself with the 2 year MBA program because essentially the class profile is totally different. And the people who are forming a majority of your class in a 1 year MBA will definitely be people with work experience higher than or equivalent to yours. So the learning curve and the learning experience in a 2 year MBA program versus a 1 year MBA program for a professional who has prior work experience will be entirely different. A 2 year MBA program also makes sense in a lot of cases. So let's say you want to take up a career in finance and you have already spent 3 or 4 years in an industry which is not finance. So for a career in finance, you essentially need, some background in terms of the career exposure that you've had. Or if you're ready to start from scratch, you can go into a 2 year MBA program as well. So there you will have the opportunity to go in for a summer internship. That summer internship will help you pivot and build those skills which you will probably require for shifting to a finance career. Apart from that, if you are planning to use your prior work experience, build on that and then grow your career going forward, then there's no point of, invalidating your resume altogether and going to a program where you'll probably have people who are younger to you, who are also lesser than your work experience, much lesser than your work experience. The 1 year MBA program will definitely have a value addition from the peer learning point of view. The kind of engagement or the discussions that will happen in the class will be very different when the cohort composition is of a 1 year MBA program. ISB has an average work experience of close to 4.5, 4.6 years in the class. And IIMs, the 1 year MBA programs, they have an average work experience of anywhere between 7 to 8 years of work experience. So if you compare it to what the 2 year MBA program will have, which will be probably people from 0 to 4 years of work experience and largely 0 to 2 years of work experience, the learning experience and the kind of growth that you will get is much different in a 1 year program. Again, a 1 year MBA program also has a lot of value from the point of view of the applicant. You are saving the opportunity cost of, losing out on your job or your career development for 1 year. Going to an MBA for 2 years will also have an additional cost of 1 year. 2 years versus 1 year, you have to choose according to your prior industry, also your career aspirations and the kind of cohort composition that you are looking at. As far as the industry acceptance for the 1 year MBA programs, it is definitely there. When you add value as a professional to any company, the recruiter will also, see value in this program that you have done. The institutions who are conducting the 1 year MBA programs are also conducting 2 year MBA programs, and they differentiate in the audience for both of these programs and also the structure of the program. Look at the curriculum as well as the structure of the program once you're planning for a 1 year MBA program in India. which is better, 1 year or a 2-year MBA? So a 2-year MBA program is, you can look at the 2-year MBA program from 2 points of view. Let's say a 2-year MBA in India. So first of all, when you're looking at a 2-year MBA in India, you have to look at what are the qualifying exams and who's going into this program. These are usually people with 0 to 3, 3.5 or 4 years of work experience, and they are writing the CAT exam or similar exams, and they are called in for the interviews and landing up their places in the 2-year MBA program. Internationally, the 2-year MBA program is a widely accepted program, and this program is for people with prior work experience. In US, you can assume that the minimum work experience expectation is around 2 years, while in a lot of European schools, the minimum work experience ranges a 3 years work experience at the minimum. So when we are comparing a 1 year or a 2-year MBA, you need to look at the location also very specifically, and also look at what are your expectations from the program. So let us first consider the 1 year versus 2 year in India. So if you look at the 1 year MBA in India versus the 2-year MBA in India, the audience for the programs is totally different. So if you have prior work experience, let's say 5 years and above, up till 4 years of experience, you can either go into a 2-year MBA program or a 1 year MBA program. The marginal difference will be of the opportunity cost and the cost of, the program itself, the fee of the program. We assume that the living cost will not be such a high burden that you cannot bear. So looking at your end career goals, up to 4 years of experience, you can choose between 1 or 2 at a slight marginal deviation. Now, looking at a professional from the point of view of, let's say he has a work experience of 4 years, 5 years, or more than that. At that point in time, the value that you will get from a 2-year MBA program and the value that you will get from a 1-year MBA program will be entirely different. The 2-year MBA will have an audience of which has much lesser work experience than you are. Is it so that you will really get that value addition from the program? You need to think about it. You need to research the curriculum also very thoroughly and also look at your aspirations. Are they fulfilled from the 2-year MBA program or the 1-year MBA program? Ideally, it is suggested that if you have work experience of 5 years or more, you should look at the 1-year programs because of the cohort composition as well as the program structure and the program design and the entire audience or the recruiter audience that the program caters to. So the whole landscape is entirely different. So this is for the programs in India. Now looking at the 1-year versus the 2-year MBA programs internationally. So if you consider the 1-year MBA programs internationally versus the 2-year MBA programs internationally, the main component that is missing is the summer internship. Now, as an international applicant, let's say you are an Indian applicant who's planning to settle down abroad, and you don't have a lot of prior international work experience. There, a 2-year MBA program will actually be beneficial for you to get that summer internship, to get accustomed to the norms in the industries or the international the landscaping as well, and just the economy, how it works, or how do you fit into there. You'll just get an extra window over there, although the cost factor is there. 1-year MBA programs end up to be more economical than the 2-year MBA programs, but also choose these programs from a very specific standpoint of what is it that you will require to go and settle up in your career internationally. If you think that in summer internship will really add value, probably saving that cost will not be that important. So, you have to look at the pros and cons or both the sides of the coin before you decide as to whether you should go in for a 1-year versus a 2-year. Don't go with just the, don't base your decision just on one standpoint of the cost. Also look at the value and also look at what exactly will you need as an international applicant to start or restart your career in an international landscape. So if the benefit that the 2-year MBA program gives to you essentially is the opportunity to become more accustomed, acclimatized to the economic structure over there and can make a space for yourself with that additional summer internship that you get, and also multiple ones. A lot of programs today offer multiple summer internships. So you can choose your program according to these criteria. This is how we will look at a 1-year versus a 2-year MBA. Break it up into 1-year MBA versus 2-year MBA in India and in the international landscape. Then, according to your particular aspirations, look into the cost versus what exactly will you need to put up your career. So if you think a 2-year MBA program will be more beneficial for you, then you should go in for that. Just don't think on the cost front. Look at every aspect of settling up your career after this 1-year or 2-year gap. Which is better, 1 year or 2 years? You really have to pen down your aspirations and work backwards and look in depth into what the program has to offer to you with respect to the curriculum, the exposure, and then decide as to which particular MBA will be more suitable for you. What are the one-year MBA programs in India that you can apply to with the CAT score? So there are one-year MBA programs that you can apply to with the CAT score. One is the IIM Kozhikode PGP-BL program that accepts the CAT score. You can also apply to the IIM Indore EPGP program through your CAT score. You can use your CAT score to apply to IIM Udaipur's Global Supply Chain Management program and IIM Udaipur's DEM program, that is the Digital Enterprise Management program. Your CAT score is also acceptable by IIM Shillong's PGPX program. So these are some programs which are one-year MBA programs and they do accept the CAT score. You can apply to SPJMR's PGPM program through the CAT score. You can also apply to BITSOM MBA with the CAT score. You can apply to the Great Lakes PGPM program with your CAT score. You can apply to MDI Gurgaon's program with your CAT score and also to IMT Ghaziabad's program with your CAT score. These programs are not entirely one-year MBA programs, but these are programs for people with prior work experience. So if you have a CAT score previously, you can use it to apply to these programs. You write the GMAT or the GRE for the one-year MBA in India. If a school is accepting both these scores, then they are taken in their own light. So you don't have to worry, whether a school prefers the GMAT more or the GRE more. However, to be eligible to the maximum number of programs, the GMAT is a safer score to go with, because if you write the GRE, you will not be able to apply to the following programs. The first program that does not accept the GRE score till date is IIM Calcutta MBAX program. The second program where you will not be able to apply with your GRE score will be IIM Shillong's PGPX program. Even that accepts only the GMAT and the CAT scores. The third program that does not accept the GRE score is SPJMR's PGPM program. That also accepts only the GMAT and the CAT scores. You will not be able to apply to SPJMR's PGPM program if you write the GRE test. Great Lakes, MDI Gurgaon and IMT Ghaziabad also do not accept the GRE score. As all of this information is still the previous application cycle that closed for the 2024 intake. So up till that particular period, these programs did not accept the GRE score. However, we'll wait for the new notifications to see if the GRE score is accepted. Also, in terms of the GMAT versus GRE, you can actually write these tests in two ways. You can give a home-based test or you can in-center test. So choosing between the home-based test versus the in-center test, for the in-center test, because that will also put a block on your eligibility for most of the schools, some schools, so which will be, so Indian School of Business ISB and the ISB PGP program will not accept the online test scores from the next incoming cycle. IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore and IIM Calcutta for their one-year MBA programs, they do not accept the online test scores. So you should plan to write an in-center test essentially to be eligible to the maximum number of programs. This is about the GMAT or the GRE test and how you should prepare for the one-year MBA programs in India. What is the maximum age limit for MBA in India? So till date, there is no maximum age limit for the MBA in India. A lot of programs, they have a minimum work experience that they require and a minimum age as well. But there is no maximum limit to it. As long as you are able to define and prove your candidature for the program and also prove your fit for the program, you can apply to an MBA program. But do research the cohort and the class composition, which will give you a good idea of what is the range of acceptance that this program has had in the past and see if you will fit into that. Can I do an MBA in India without the CAT? Yes, you can pursue an MBA in India without the CAT exam. A lot of schools now have programs especially designed for for applicants with prior work experience, and they do accept the GMAT or the GRE test scores. So you can definitely pursue an MBA without the CAT score. But a lot of two-year MBA programs will definitely look at the CAT score or the allied exams like the SAT, SNAP, etc. So you need to choose your programs accordingly. You definitely have choices to apply to the one-year MBA programs through the GMAT or the GRE scores. The CAT score is not an essential requirement to apply to an MBA in India anymore. Is there any one-year MBA in India? So there are a lot of one-year MBA programs in India. To list down a few, one is the Indian School of Business PGP program. Second is the IIM Ahmedabad PGPX program. Third, you can look into the IIM Bangalore EPGP program. Fourth will be IIM Calcutta's MBAX program. Fifth, you can look into IIM Kozhikode's PGP-BL program. Sixth, you can look into IIM Lucknow's IPMX program. Seventh, you can look into IIM Indore's EPGP program. You can also look into IIM Udaipur's GSCM program. You can look into IIM Shillong's PGPX program. These are the one-year MBA programs in India which are offered by the leading institutions. Apart from these, there are more programs which are not entirely 2 years, but they do take up applications essentially from people with prior work experience, which are offered by SPJMR, that is the PGPM program. Then XLRI has a GMP program. You can also apply to MDI Gurgaon, IMT Ghaziabad, Great Lakes. All of these institutions, they offer programs for professionals with prior work experience.